What if I told you your paycheck could refuse to be spent the wrong way? Stick around, Pi, because this already happened to 50,000 real people, and it's coming for the rest of us next. We've already looked at how money was born and why it holds value at all. Today, we're going one step further.
What if your paycheck could refuse to be spent on the wrong thing? What if a government subsidy deleted itself if you didn't use it fast enough? This isn't science fiction. It already happened to 50,000 real people in a real city 5 years ago. And today, 7 of the world's most powerful central banks are quietly testing the next version of it. This is the story of programmable money and why the cash in your pocket might be the last dumb money you ever hold. October 2020, Shenzhen, China. 2 million people enter a government lottery, 50,000 of them win. The prize, 200 digital yuan, about $30, loaded straight into a new digital wallet on their phone. But this money had rules. It could only be spent at about 3,000 approved stores in one district. Not online everywhere, not transferred to a friend, not saved. And if you didn't spend it within about a week, it vanished, gone, back to the central bank as if it never existed. For most winners, it felt like free money and a fun experiment. Buy groceries, grab a coffee, done. But step back for a second. This was the first time in history that a government proved something new was possible. Money that comes with an expiration date, a leash, and a list of rules built directly into the currency itself. And China didn't stop there. Here's the uncomfortable part. That Shenzhen test wasn't a glitch or a side effect. It was the point. Programmable money means the issuer, a bank, a company, or a government, can decide what the money can do after it's already in your hand. Restrict where you spend it, restrict what you buy. Set an expiration date, even claw it back. Today, China's digital yuan has grown into the most advanced central bank digital currency on earth. Over 800 million wallets, more than 10 trillion yuan moved through it. If a currency can expire, restrict, and track a purchase automatically, what exactly happens the day someone in charge decides your spending needs correcting? But before you write this off as pure surveillance, consider the flip side. Programmable money can send disaster relief to flood victims in minutes, not weeks, automatically, with no paperwork, no middleman skimming a fee, no waiting in line at a government office. It can guarantee a subsidy actually buys food or energy instead of vanishing into something else entirely. It can cut fraud almost to zero because every dollar is trackable and every rule is enforced automatically, instead of relying on someone checking receipts after the fact. For someone with no bank account, no credit history, and no way to prove they qualify for help, a phone and a digital wallet might be the fastest, fairest system that's ever existed. Same tool, completely different outcome. It just depends on who's holding the rulebook. Now let's go to Europe, where this isn't a lottery experiment anymore. It's becoming official policy. The European Central Bank is building a digital euro, with legislation expected in 2026 and real pilot programs targeted for 2027. Their stated reason isn't control, it's independence. Right now, most digital payments in Europe run through American companies. A digital euro would give Europe its own rails, so a foreign company can never quietly become the backbone of European payments. The plan includes offline capability, spending limits, and identity verification built into onboarding, features that sound protective on paper. But here's the detail most people miss. A digital euro would be programmable by design. The same technical foundation that let China expire test money in Shenzhen is the foundation Europe is now building for over 300 million people. The question isn't whether the technology can restrict your money. It's who ends up deciding the rules, and whether you'll even know they've changed. Let's slow down and actually define this, because three different things get lumped together under programmable money, and they're not the same. First, a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. This is digital cash issued directly by a government's central bank. China's e-CNY is one. So are the Bahamas' Sand Dollar, Jamaica's Jandex, and Nigeria's Naira, the only three fully launched retail versions in the world today. Second, stablecoins, digital dollars issued by private, regulated companies, built to always equal $1. In the US, a law called the Genius Act put these in charge of America's digital dollar future, instead of the government building its own. Third, smart contracts, small pieces of code attached to money that automatically execute a rule. Pay a supplier only when a satellite confirms their shipment has actually arrived. No invoice, no trust required, no lawyer needed, same umbrella. Three very different amounts of control in three very different hands. The IMF isn't waiting around for a perfect answer. Its managing director has publicly told policymakers, in plain words, to accept that money is moving digital, that trying to stop it is pointless, and the real job now is managing the risks, not blocking the technology. More than 66 countries agree enough to be actively piloting or building a CBDC right now, up from just 35 in 2020. Their argument is simple: cash is expensive to print, easy to counterfeit, and slow to move across borders. A well-designed digital currency fixes all three, if it's built with the right limits. The debate isn't really should this exist, it already does. The real debate is what happens next. So where does America fit into all this? Here's the twist: the US deliberately chose not to build a government-run digital dollar. Instead, the Genius Act handed the job to private companies. Regulated stable coins like USDC and USDT now carry the bulk of programmable dollar activity, settling trillions of dollars a year across public blockchains. The logic: keep the government out of individual transactions, let regulated private companies compete, and avoid the exact kind of centralized control China built into the e-CNY. But here's the catch nobody advertises. Those stable coins can still be programmed with rules, frozen accounts, blocked wallets, restricted transfers. It's just a company's legal team deciding the rules instead of a government ministry. Different name, different logo on the app. The core question is exactly the same: who gets to write the rules your money follows? Let's bring this back down to something simple: your actual daily life. Picture this: just a few years out, your paycheck lands in a digital wallet. Part of it, the part earmarked for taxes, is already gone before you even see the number, automatically. No filing required. A government energy rebate shows up separately, tagged so it can only be spent on your utility bill. You don't choose that, the money already knows. Your savings account quietly moves itself between a few competing digital dollar providers overnight, chasing whichever one is a fraction of a percent better, without you lifting a finger. None of this requires new science. Every piece of it already exists somewhere in the world today, in a pilot program, a company's app, or a central bank's lab. The only real question left is which version of this arrives at your bank first, and how many of the rules you'll actually get to see. Not everyone is comfortable with where this is heading, and their concern isn't paranoia, it's math. A fully digital, fully trackable currency means every purchase, every donation, every late-night snack run becomes a permanent, searchable record, one that can, in theory, be frozen, flagged, or restricted by whoever controls the ledger. Privacy advocates point to something simple: cash has no memory. A $20 bill doesn't know or care what you bought with it yesterday. Programmable digital money, by design, remembers everything. Some lawmakers in Europe have pushed for strict privacy limits on the digital euro for exactly this reason: offline modes, spending caps on tracking, and anonymity thresholds. Whether those protections survive contact with the finished product is a very different question. This isn't staying inside one country's borders either. Right now, 7 of the world's most powerful central banks, including the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the Bank of England, and the Bank of Japan, are jointly testing something called Project Agora. The goal: let programmable central bank money move seamlessly between countries, bank to bank, in real time, without today's slow, expensive international wire transfers. If it works, sending money across the planet could become as fast and cheap as sending a text message. But it also means the rules embedded in that money could travel with it, across borders, across currencies, across legal systems that don't always agree on what those rules should be. So here's where all of this actually lands. Programmable money can end fraud, deliver aid in minutes, and make cross-border payments nearly instant. The exact same technology can expire your savings, restrict what you're allowed to buy, and quietly track every purchase you make, the way it already did, for real, to 50,000 people in Shenzhen. It's not a hypothetical anymore, it's not 5 years away. Pieces of it are already running, quietly, in wallets, pilot programs, and central bank labs on almost every continent right now. The technology itself isn't good or bad, it's neutral. What matters is who's holding the pen that writes the rules. Money has always followed rules. What's new is that, for the first time, the rules can live inside the money itself, invisible, automatic, and impossible to argue with. A $20 bill never asked you what you were buying. The next version of money might, somewhere between total efficiency and total control. Every country on Earth is now trying to find its own line. The real question isn't whether programmable money is coming. It's already here. The only thing still up for grabs is who gets to hold the pen.